Join me in the invocation this morning. Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day, and we're always grateful to get to serve you and our community, our county. Lord, we do pray over all who are here, not just here, but in our county. We just ask for your blessings on them. We pray for wisdom and direction for this court, that we do things that are pleasing to you and a blessing to others. We thank you, Father, for all you do for us. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Join me in the pledge to the U.S. flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please see. Thank you. Any announcements today from anybody? I have no public comments. We do have a quorum today. Present and voting precinct 1 is Commissioner Hatfield. Precinct 2 is Commissioner Timmons. Sims is presiding. Precinct 3 is Commissioner Malden. Precinct 4 is Commissioner Ebarb. Call our meeting to order. It is 9:04 a.m. here on the 14th day. Happy Valentine's Day, 14th day of February, 2023. We're in the historic courthouse in the Commissioner's courtroom. Item number 1, or our first agenda item, is from our auditor, and it is a submission of financial reports. Good morning, Ms. Haynes.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Before I begin with the financial report, I wanted to let you all know that we have kicked off the project for the new payroll system. We met for the first time last week with Tyler and Sherlyn, myself, Charlie, Miss Emma, and Ani are all on the project. We hope to meet with the sheriff next, either this week or next week to start. We need to start meeting with the larger departments to start getting them familiar with what's going to be rolled out. They said it would take 4 to 6 months to implement. So we hope to have it done by the end of the fiscal year. But I just wanted to give y'all an update on that so y'all would know it has started finally.
Great.
So with
Will
that.
it be a gradual, or will y'all get it to where once the end of the period, you push a button, everybody goes, or will it?
The way that the project manager explained it is that there's going to be like 3 or 4 payrolls. The first payroll, there's going to be about 20% of our population. It's going to be somewhere, we're going to want people in each type of function in the sheriff's department, of course, road and bridge. And when I say sheriff's department, I'm including the jails and everything. Road and bridge, the larger departments that have more complex schedules, along with the smaller departments. So then we'll have 2 payrolls that are independent of one another. Then we're going to have 1 payroll that's parallel, at least 1 payroll, as long as everything goes smoothly. So it's going to be challenging for some because they're going to be recording their time in 2 different places. And so I'm not sure how well that's going to be received, but to get to our end goal, I mean, no one wants their payroll messed up, so we've got to have this parallel that they are proposing.
The 2 places is just getting it moved. Once you get it established, will it still be where they've got the list time in 2 places, or just be a single?
It will be a single. It will be integrated with our general ledger system. There's no longer going to be exports that we're currently doing, and everyone will be on their time and attendance. So it's going to take us a while to get there. There's going to be growing pains, but we're going to get there. I can see it. I'm excited about it because it's going to be change too, and of course, no one likes change.
Let me ask one question. I'll hush, Are will y'all be capable once, as y'all work through it and you start gradually moving people over and you do a portion of your payroll and it's not right? The people that are in the system, are you gonna be able to correct it that day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I don't
it's
want
it's
feel-
gonna be both systems running at the first, for the first couple of the tests per se. It's going to be both, they're gonna be in the new system and the old system to ensure. Now, some of them aren't even on a system, like the sheriff's department, they submit timesheets. So it's going to be different from them because they're actually going to have to log into a system.
Well, I knew when we went to the direct deposit, we had those few that we were having continual problems.
Right.
And of course, we get the calls, and I don't want somebody to get paid on Friday, and then it's Monday or Tuesday or the following week before it gets squared away or right or whatever.
No, the deadlines aren't going to change. We're still going to have the same deadlines. It's just that the way that they submit their time is going to be different. The actual processing of payroll system is not changing. It's just time submission that's changing.
Okay, and my question was, will it, the time clock system, will it change or will it be the same?
That is changing. We're going to have a couple of options for Road and Bridge, since they all get there at one time and they're all waiting. We're not going to, we may have a kiosk, we haven't decided that, but we're going to have the tablet that was approved to where now instead of punching a time clock, it's going to be like what the sheriff's department currently has, where they have a badge and they swipe the badge.
Okay.
So that's, right now, the Road and Bridge Department is the only one we're anticipating that with, because everyone else is used to using some type of system to log into and check in. But Road and Bridge, it's just a different mechanism. Instead of a time clock, they're going to swipe a badge.
So this will be on the computer
Yes, sir.
system. Would I be able to look back at my last few days somehow and see how many hours I have?
I'm assuming so. They currently have that with Time Center for the ones who are on Time Center, so they can see how many hours. A lot of the departments allow their employees to manage their time. So if they need to go somewhere and they work a little bit through lunch, so they manage their time to a 40-hour week.
Good.
So, but they look at it throughout the week to see the hours that they had worked.
So
You
I'm
talking
just-
about the department head or the individual?
The individual. So if I've worked, a week and a half, I can look back and make sure all my hours are correct, and it shouldn't be a problem or an error on my
Yes.
paycheck if I've kind of verified my.
Yes, and they have that functionality for the ones who are on Time Center now.
I don't know if it was here or somewhere else, but, somebody would log in just as they got ready to leave home. And, so they're getting paid during the time that they're driving to work and then could be in an accident.
Correct. Well, one of the functions of this system is what they call geofencing.
Okay.
To where we can, like, if they're at the facility, if they're in the parking lot of the jail annex, they can log in their time as they walk in.
Okay.
So we have it to where there's going to be parameters where they can actually clock in.
Okay.
So that doesn't happen.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, thank you for working on that. Any other questions or comments? All right, we'll move on to your financial reports.
Okay, you all should have the December 2022 report in front of you. Keep in mind, these are unadjusted and unaudited fund balances. As of December 2022, we have fund balance of $21,748,601. If you turn the page to page 2, you will see a summary of the general fund. As of December, we have collected $3.2 million in revenue versus $3.1 million in revenue for 2022. That's an increase of $39,556 or 1.26%. From an expense perspective, we have spent $6 million as of December 2022 for fiscal year '23 in comparison to $4.7 million. That's an increase of $1.3 million. If you note, a lot of it's in general and administrative. That's where we pay our liability insurance, which was a little bit higher than what we budgeted. That's where our claims, we've had to go in, and county had to fund some of our claims already this year. So it's just more or less a timing issue. It's not that we're going wild with spending money. So on page 3 is a net perspective. As of December 2022 for fiscal year '23, we have paid $2.8 million more than what we have collected in revenue in comparison to FY '22, where we had paid $1.6 million more in versus what we've collected. On page 4 is a summary of road and bridge. As of December 2022 for fiscal year '23, we have collected $855,000 in comparison to $864,000. That's a decline of $9,200. So we're basically flat there. On the expenses, we have spent $992,850 in comparison to $853,143. That's an increase of $139,000. On page 5 is a view of the net perspective, where we have collected, or we have paid $137,000, almost $138,000 more in expenses than what we've collected in FY '23, in comparison where we collected $11,000 more than what we'd paid in 2022. On pages 6 through 10 is a summary of revenue by department in comparison to budget. On pages 11 through 15 is a summary of expenses by department in comparison to budget. On page 16 is our debt summary, and of course, we have zero debt. And that's all I have for the financial summary.
Any questions for Ms. Haynes on the financial reports? If not, we'll move on to item number 1, consideration and approval regarding line item transfers.
I am requesting transferring $53,428.01 between departments and funds.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of payment of regular bills.
I am requesting payment of $507,905.47.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Ebar. Any questions or comments on our expenses? There are none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item 3 is consideration and approval of payroll for February 3rd, 2023.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments on our payroll? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 4 is consideration and approval for the budget amendment per Local Government Code 111.011, changes to the budget for county purposes. This subchapter does not prevent the Commissioners Court from making changes in the budget for county purposes.
This budget amendment is for the additional property taxes that we collected from August through September and the change in fund balance at the end of fiscal '22. So what this is doing is we utilized all the fund balance to pay off the debt, which meant that we took less from the general fund that was budgeted.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Thank you, Ms. Atkins.
Thank you.
We're not doing it, we're not doing exhibit 5 on that child safety.
I don't have an exhibit
Well,
5.
it's in an exhibit.
Oh, in the exhibits. No, it didn't get on the agenda. We'll have to save that till next time. Sorry about that. On to Road and Bridge. First up is our administrative report. Morning, Mr. Davis.
Good morning, Your Honor, Commissioners. How y'all doing this morning? Y'all should have a bi-weekly shop report in front of you from December the 28th to February the 7th. We've issued 75 road permits were issued for the same time frame. So we're still getting a lot of truck traffic on our county roads out there. And we're still in the process of repairing all the washouts from our recent flood event we had, patching, picking up trees, and we're supposed to have another weather event today with 40-mile-an-hour winds and more rain, so I foresee more of the same in our future for the next couple of weeks till we catch up.
I think today that little system's supposed to move on through pretty quickly is the only good
Yeah.
news. But maybe we won't have any troubles.
And we're working on the seal coat list, and we're beginning our construction plans for this summer for our in-house road construction. And there have been some modifications to the bidder's response form. It's coming up with purchasing today. And it was just a line that was added for the fog seal in the bidder's response form on the back of the packet. That's all that was.
Very good. You guys have any questions for Mr. Davis on his administrative report? If not, we'll move on to item number 1. That's consideration and approval of personnel changes for Harrison County Road and Bridge Department.
We've had one new hire since our last court meeting.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Ebar. Any other questions or comments?
What position did you fill, Mr. Davis?
It was a truck driver spot.
Truck driver.
We definitely needed it. We still have several openings. We're just not getting no applications in.
Okay, good. Glad we got that one.
What about mowing? If they ought to be getting close to finishing this first round.
Yes, sir, they were down to just a couple of miles, and then this weather system moved in, so they had to shut it down so they didn't rut up the ditches and stuff.
Yeah, I knew.
Are you still happy with their progress?
Yes, they doing a fine job.
Good, good. All right, for our personnel changes, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of the utility application submitted to Harrison County Road and Bridge Department as follows. Rockcliff Energy Management LLC on Aiken Road, which is County Road 2703.
Yes, sir, Rockcliff is requesting to install a 4-inch water line that's going under Aikens Road. The utilities application that's been reviewed, and it does meet the standard specifications outlined in the utilities applications.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Something that, and I should have brought this up in your administrative portion, I know on Webb Rogers Road, we had gotten some complaints, and I forwarded you an email, and the gentleman mentioned that we're still having a lot of truck traffic on there, even after we've posted our no-through truck signs.
Yes, sir, I'd got in touch with the owner, excuse me, Mike Boudreau is the owner of the saltwater disposal out there, and he's reached out to all those different companies that are hauling to his disposal site to tell them to be sure to use the service road and not to use Webb Rogers Road North.
Very good.
So, and
If that doesn't, if they don't use the service, can we, did we put a no through truck traffic sign on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Both ends of it.
Both, okay.
we did, but they still do
They
got
still do.
business down there. They are, conducting, so,
Okay.
I mean,
We can't restrict, I mean, really and truly.
If
No,
they have
sir.
a well on there, but just to use our road to pass through is a different story.
That's right.
And it'll take our license and weight guy, a little investigating to figure out if they're just passing through or if they really were
That's
on
right.
there.
Have we filled that position, Mr. Patterson's?
No, sir, not at this time. I think Mr. Fletcher's in that process right now.
Okay, good. And I want to thank you and Lisa both for reaching out to Mr. Remedy down that way that had sent us a detailed letter about, most of his problems was state related. or
Yes,
county-
sir.
Yes, tech stop related. So when Judge Sims reached out to his contact in Atlanta office, and I want to thank y'all for following up with that letter to Mr. Remedy, let him know that his complaints were heard.
Yeah, he seemed to be happy.
Yeah, that's,
I did get in touch with adult probation, and they're gonna get a crew out there to pick up all the trash he was complaining about. He's got a very long list, but he will get to us.
well, he was not exaggerating about the damage that is done to that service road.
No, he wouldn't.
And you never go by that place over there, that disposal place, there's not lines of trucks that's on there. And I'm surprised that old Highway 80 down there on the other end, I'm surprised that road's not beat up as much traffic as in and out of there.
It's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, isn't that McBride, is that what that is?
Yeah, the one on 80, on
Yeah,
80
one
is,
on 80, yeah, they are busy. But thank y'all.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Luke.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is our Sheriff's Department Administrative Report. Good morning, Sheriff Fletcher.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Yes. Activity summary for 12/28 through 2/7. We entered 3,535 calls for service, took 94 assigned criminal reports. Total reports taken was 377. We arrested 134 individuals, wrote 44 traffic citations, transported 6 mentals. Mentals and warrants combined did 53 transports for a total of 10,581 miles. We received 197 legal documents, 112 were personal service, 13 were in indictment precepts served in the jail, 20 tax postings, 23 regular postings, and 1 Harrison County Central Appraisal District tax sale for a total of 169 served. Sent out 2,600 juror summons. The jail population is currently 223 as of February the 8th. We are housing 27 total contract inmates, 1 for Marion County and 26 for the United States Marshal Service.
3,535 calls for service.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Busy place.
That's a busy place.
Any questions for the sheriff on his administrative report? And Sheriff, I just like to follow up with you on what we're talking with Mr. Davis about on Webb Rogers Road. A lot of truck traffic through there that's not supposed to be. The 18-wheelers are traveling that road just to make it shorter for them, and it's,
Where are they cutting through to, Luke?
They're coming off of 80, going down Webb Rogers North,
To-
going to the saltwater disposal just south of the interstate.
Interstate?
right, they
Okay.
just cross right over the interstate and turn left to go to that new disposal well.
Okay.
And it's just tearing up that road. Anyway, I know you don't have a license or weight guy yet, but if you don't mind just asking your guys.
Sure will.
to Travel through there a little, I think just your presence would help.
A lot of traffic on that little road.
All right, item number 1 is consideration and approval of the Harrison County Sheriff's Office Chapter 59 forfeiture budget.
The budget's the same as last year. We didn't change anything. But as you know, that is what Chief Clarew and I and the district attorney use as our funds to run the code unit. So very valuable to us.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank y'all.
Don't see Mr. Thomas in here this morning or Mr. Nininger. That brings us to purchasing. Good morning, Ms. Harkins.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Item number 1 is consideration to approve the fixed asset, which is unnumbered and labeled as IT software with the purchase date of January 15th, 2004 as surplus and to be disposed of by the purchasing agent, IT director, and county auditor.
Ms. Haynes reached out to me and Charlie. This is on a spreadsheet that she maintains. However, it is not in our system, but she still wanted to get the approval to make sure that you know that it's not in use.
So we're going to add it to our,
We're just going to dispose of it.
okay,
It's going to be removed from her spreadsheet.
very good. All right. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and action to approve change order number 1 for 5 Notch Road North, reconstruction bid number 2023-01 to change bidder responses form by adding approximately 3,100 gallons furnish, deliver, and apply type CSS-1H 7030 fog seal per plans and specifications.
As Mr. Davis stated, no specifications were changed. We just added this to the bidder's response form.
So on their last sheet where they are going through and bidding on each item, there was no line for this fog seal.
Correct,
So
yes,
you're
on
just
page
adding,
30.
you're just adding a line so that they can
Yes, already in the packet, just added a line.
put their bid in on that line. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. So the rest of these are gonna be very similar to, you're changing it on, or it was left off of each bid, so we're gonna go back and adjust each bid, is what we're doing today.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Item number 3 is consideration and action to approve change order number 1 for Old Town Road reconstruction bid number 2023-02 to change bidder responses form by adding approximately 9,900 gallons, furnish, deliver, and apply type CSS-1H 7030 fog seal per plans and specifications.
I'm confused. Why are we doing this?
What do you mean?
So when we sent out the bids,
Right.
and on the back page of the bid form where you list so many feet of soil cement, so many, you're bidding on each one of these things.
Right.
This fog seal application was left off.
So we're just adding it to
It's
it.
not nothing we're adding on, it's just we
No,
omitted
it just was
something.
missed off of page 30.
It was in the specifications, you're supposed to bid on it, but on the
Right.
last sheet where you write your bid number, your
Right.
bid amount, there was no line for fog
For them
seal.
to write,
So
yeah,
we're just adding a
That's what
line,
I thought it was. so-
just to clear that up.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, but nothing's changing.
Right.
We
I
just-
wanted to make sure.
We're creating a line for them to write on page 30.
I thought I understood that, but
No problem. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 4 is consideration and action to approve change order number 1 for Mount Pleasant Cutoff reconstruction bid number 2023-03 to change bidder responses form by adding approximately 1,300 gallons, furnish, deliver, and apply type CSS-1H 7030 fog seal per plans and specifications.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 5 is consideration and action to approve change order number 1 for Page Road reconstruction bid 2023-04 to change bidder responses form by adding approximately 1,300 gallons, furnish, deliver, and apply type CSS-1H 7030 fog seal per plans and specifications.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Ebar. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 6 is consideration and action to approve change order number 1 for Airlight Road reconstruction bid 2023-05 to change bidder responses form by adding approximately 2,900 gallons furnished, deliver, and applied type CSS-1H7030 fog seal per plans and specifications.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 7 is consideration and action to approve change order number 1 for Macedonia Road reconstruction bid 2023-06 to change bidder responses form by adding approximately 2,800 gallons furnished, deliver, and apply type CSS-1H7030 fog seal per plans and specifications.
Motion.
Second.
We had a motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 5-0. Item number 8, consideration and action to approve change order number 2 to the Page Road reconstruction bid 2023-04, changing the completion dates to be completed between May 1, 2023 and November 1, 2023.
This bid packet was missed and it had our 2022 dates still on there, so we're changing the dates for that one.
So we just had the wrong year. We had
Right.
last year on, and we're changing it to this year. Very good.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 5-0.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, ma'am.
When do these bids open?
At the end of the month on the 24th.
Okay.
We had discussed all these changes on there, if there would be enough time for these guys to make the corrections or adjustments to their bid, and that's 10 days from now, so we felt like that'd be enough. Ms. Harkins, I guess, you're able to, reach out to the folks who've requested or plan to bid to get them the updated?
This afternoon, I wanted to wait on the court's approval, but I did send out several of these bid packets to, several people on the text dot list, so I'll go back in my previous emails and just continue that one and see the change.
Very good, thank you. All right, we don't have anything today from HR, treasurer, or elections. That brings us to new business. Item number 1 is consideration and approval of, consideration and approval of a request for out-of-state travel for Laracy L. McDonald, Harrison CEA FCH, who was recently elected State Epsilon Sigma Phi Secretary to attend the 2023 Public Issues Leadership Development Conference in Arlington, Virginia on April the 16th through the 19th, 2023, with a scholarship received to pay for part of the travel expenses and the county to cover the other expenses.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. We're going to skip over or push item number 2 till next time. Still don't have the details worked out on that agreement. Item number 3 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the Harrison County Airport ground lease tenant constructed hangar number 1B between Harrison County and Wolf Pups LLC, commencing on January 1st, 2023 and ending on December 31st, 2057, and aircraft registration for said hangar.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? Again, these, we've still got a few more of these that'll be trickling in, these new leases that we're updating out at the airport. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the Harrison County Airport ground lease tenant constructed hangar number 12 between Harrison County and Ponder Victory Enterprises LLC, commencing on January 1st, 2023 and ending on December 31st, 2057, and aircraft registration for said hangar.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 5-0. Item number 5 is consideration and approval of the resolution authorizing the private resale of a property bid into trust to Harrison County. Ms. Vaughn, you might want to come up and give us the details on
Good morning.
this. Good morning.
So this is a resolution for the private resale of property that was bid in trust. We don't normally consider these because we normally offer properties back up for public resale at the courthouse steps. This property is a little bit different. There's a tax lien transfer company that's involved, and they are equal in priority to all of the other taxing entities here in Harrison County. They are the ones who placed a bid on the property. Their bid would make all of the Harrison County taxing entities whole, and if we were to offer this property for resale at the courthouse steps, they would receive 76% of any bid that we received. So unless we sold it for more than the total owed, they would get the lion's share of the money, and the Harrison County taxing entities would end up writing a portion off. And so this bid received from the tax lien transfer company makes the taxing entities whole, and then the tax lien transfer company can offer the property for resale however they choose.
You might have mentioned this, Ms. Vaughn, but this has already been through one tax sale and received no bid.
That's correct.
So that's why it would go to the December, auction, is that right?
That's correct.
Generally?
It would have normally been in this past December's resale, but the tax lien transfer company had reached out to us indicating that they thought they were gonna do this, and they just hadn't gotten back to us in time. So you actually authorized the public resale of this property, and right when we were getting ready to do that, they reached out again and said, no, we wanna make this bid. But yes, it did go up for tax sale the first time around, and no bid was received.
So we've already received no bid. We've now got an offer that would make us whole in all the other taxing entities. And so it just, in our thinking, it's possible that we would not get a very good bid if we waited and tried to do this again. So
That's true.
That's why your recommendation is that we go ahead and accept it.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Any questions?
Is this amount that it's selling for, you said something about if we sold it, they got, the lien company got 78% of
76%.
76% of what was owed.
So-
Will we get 100% of this that we sell it for? Or
Yes.
will we have to send money back?
No, we would get 100% of the money. So their bid was $26,910.35. That pays all the court costs, the sheriff fees, all the taxes to the school district and to the county. And if we were to sell it at a tax sale, it's 77.63% because they were actually owed almost $63,000 at the time the first sale was had.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I guess in my mind, I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to send 70-something% of this
Sure.
sale price back.
Yep, good question. Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 6 is consideration and approval to receive and discuss the delinquent tax collection report.
I have emailed you all this. I have printed copies if anybody would like one before I get started. All right, we are going to start on page number 3. The chart on page 3 shows you your total revenue from tax collections for the past 4 fiscal years. The way that you get to over 100% is you add your current taxes that are collected during the year, any delinquent taxes that are collected during the year, as well as penalty and interest. So you'll see for fiscal year 2021, 100.90% of your adjusted levy was collected during that fiscal year. 2020, 101.03% of your adjusted levy was collected. 2019, 102.24%. And 2018, 101.05% was collected during that year. I went back when I was preparing this report yesterday just to see what the history was, and since 2009, and I didn't have the data prior to 2009, but since 2009, total revenue received has been in excess of 100% every year.
Excellent.
You don't get much better than that, do you?
I wish I could say it was all us, but Veronica's office plays a really important role in that as well. So on page 4, this shows you the percent of taxes levied by year that were collected as of December the 31st of 2022. Your 2021 taxes, 97.66% of what you levied has been collected. Your 2020 taxes, 98.48% has been collected. Your 2019 taxes, 99.02% has been collected. And your 2018 taxes, 99.18% of your adjusted levy has been collected as of the end of December. On page 5, this deals strictly with delinquent taxes. Remember, you turn your delinquent taxes over to us on July the 1st. Your 2021 taxes, which were turned over to us July the 1st of 2022, we've collected 43.32% of that in 6 months. Your 2018 taxes, we've collected 61.15% in 18 months. Your 2019 taxes, 75.95% of what you've turned over to us has been collected. And your 2018 taxes, 80.39% of what you turned over to us has been collected in a 42-month period. Does anybody have any questions on any of the charts we've gone over so far? On pages 6, 7, and 8, you'll see a breakdown by year of your outstanding delinquent taxes. For example, on page 6, the 2021 taxes, you turned over just over $1 million to us. Again, 45% of that has been collected. Another $88,000 is currently under lawsuit or judgment. Research in progress are cases that we're actually working now and running title on in order to file a suit on them. You have a very small percentage in bankruptcy. You do have tax deferrals for 2021 that makes up about 4.34% of your outstanding delinquency. And then there are other categories listed below. So each year from 2021 through 2018 is broken out into those same categories over pages 6, 7, and 8. If you look at the top of page 9, this shows you the status of your outstanding delinquent balance as of December the 31st, as of January the 18th of 2023. There was a little time in between when the other data was entered and when we got a file in order to come up with these calculations. So as of January the 18th, there was $2.23 million outstanding to Harrison County. 19.16% of that is currently covered under either a pending lawsuit or a case that's been reduced to judgment that's waiting to go to sale. 12.84% is 2021 taxes that we're actively working to bring a suit on. You have, again, a very small portion in bankruptcy. You do have 16.82% of that entire outstanding amount that's covered by tax deferrals, whether it's an over 65 tax deferral or a disability tax deferral. And at the present time, there's not anything we can do to try and collect that portion, but it should eventually become collectible when the deferral no longer applies. On the bottom of page 9, this shows you the outstanding balance broken down by year. You'll see that more than 51% of the entire amount that's owed to Harrison County is due for tax year 2021, 2020, and 2019. The majority of that will be collected over the next several years. If you look down to the very bottom, your 2012 taxes, you have $69,758 outstanding out of an initial levy of $19.78 million. And of that $69,000, 23.66 is currently covered by tax deferral, and 17.2% of it is covered by either a pending suit or a judgment. So you'll see that we don't ever stop working those. And in the grand scheme of how large your levy was, that's a very small percentage that's still outstanding for that year. On page 11, this gives you a breakdown of the work that we've done January 1 of 2020 through December the 31st of 2022. We've mailed over 58,000 notices. 148,147 pieces of property were involved in those notices. We've filed 718 lawsuits against 1,763 properties. We've taken judgments in 515 cases involving just over 1,000 properties. We do continue to work your minerals separately, either under a tax warrant or a suit. You'll see the mineral notices that were sent out, 176 notices involving 1,166 delinquent accounts that were owned by those 176 property owners. We do work personal property, and we actually start working personal property in April rather than waiting until July. We sent out 163 notices involving 235 parcels, and we've done 181 tax warrants involving 1,632 properties. Some of those are going to be mineral tax warrants where we get an order from the court directing the operator to send funds to us to satisfy the debt. Once it's satisfied, then we release the tax warrant and the property owner begins receiving their royalty payments again. And so they still own that. We've just kind of changed their priorities a little bit in order to get the taxing entities paid. We have exercised several personal property tax warrants during this reporting period, and that's where the court again issues an order for us to collect that amount of money. The Sheriff's Department and I personally visit the taxpayer to explain the situation to them, and typically those are very successful in getting the funds collected at that point in time. We have offered for property 943 properties for a first-time sale. 408 of those were paid or withdrawn because of a homestead installment agreement or bankruptcy. 331 of those properties sold at tax sale. 204 were bid in trust, and during this time period, we have resold 232 properties that had previously been offered and not received a bid at the courthouse steps. There is zero inventory at this point, except for this one property that you all just passed a resolution on this morning. There are no other properties bid in trust at this point in time in Harrison County. We do represent the county in bankruptcy litigation. Again, you don't have a large bankruptcy situation here in Harrison County. I'm hopeful that that won't change, but I do have some concerns that that amount could increase depending on the economy in this next year. A new page in this report that we've not previously shown you all involves excess proceeds. Periodically, when we have property that sells at the tax sale for more than what is actually owed against it, that excess gets deposited with the district clerk's office where it sits for 2 years, and then anybody who has an interest in the property can come in and make a claim for those excess proceeds during that 2-year period. If nobody makes a claim for those excess proceeds, then under the tax code, that money belongs to the taxing entities in a proportionate share to their amount of the judgment. Over the past 4 years, those excess proceeds to the county have exceeded $210,000. That money doesn't get earmarked for anything. It doesn't go to pay taxes on any account. It is money that goes into the county's general fund that you all spend however you deem appropriate. Does anybody have any questions about any of the report?
Very well done, Ms. Vaughn. Is there a motion to approve? Second. A motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by Commissioner Malden. And something you mentioned that, and we don't get an opportunity to thank Ms. King and her staff for all that they do, because we don't see her in here all the time, but we do want to just let you know how much we appreciate you and all that y'all do, so thank you very much. We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 7 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the resolution and amended contract between Harrison County and McCrary, Veselka, Bragg, and Allen PC for the collection of delinquent property taxes and legal representation to be effective February 15th, 2023 and ending February 14th, 2027 with annual 1-year automatic rollover provisions after the expiration of the initial term and pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 2254.1036. If entering into a contingent fee contract, a public notice Exhibit A must be included with the agenda item.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions, comments? You have any comments?
I was just gonna advise the court that we're operating under a contract that was initially signed in 2003. It was amended in 2006, and it has continued to roll over. There were some necessary changes as a result of changes in the law in terms of entering into a contract with a governmental entity, and that's the primary reason for this amended contract. It does extend the initial term. Thank you guys for your continued support.
You bet, thank you all. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Vaughn.
Appreciate it.
Item number 8 is consideration and action to approve the resolution at the recommendation of Gum Springs WSC Selection Committee for the selection of Trailer and Associates, Inc. as the grant administrator pertaining to the application and implementation of the WSC 2023 through 2024 Texas Department of Agriculture Texas CDBG grant, if awarded, with said contract to be approved and executed at a future Commissioners Court meeting upon award of said Texas CDBG grant to Gum Springs WSC. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Just my quick comments on this. Gum Springs has asked to be considered for this grant, and they're only saying that if they receive this, that they were going to use Trailer to administer it. We're not, it's not been awarded, so we can't officially say, yes, go use Trailer, but if it gets awarded, then we're going to say, yes, you know, go ahead. So that's just, this is a preliminary thing to get them going on their grant.
Is this, this is kind of like, we hadn't seen one in several years, just a flow through, isn't it?
That's right, it passes through the county, it sure does. We had a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Item number 9 is consideration and action to approve the resolution at the recommendation of Gum Springs WSC Selection Committee for the selection of Stevens Engineering as the engineering firm pertaining to the application, preparation, and project implementation of the WSC 2023 through 2024 Texas Department of Agriculture Texas CDBG grant, if awarded, with said contract to be approved and executed at a future Commissioners Court meeting upon award of Texas CDBG grant to Gum Springs WSC. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Again, this is the same thing, except this is the engineering part. And you guys know that I think we're able to do these maybe every other years when we get in line for those, and then we've got a number of WSC Water Supply Corps that want to get in on this, and Gum Springs was next in line. So that's why they're here today.
So there's basically a rotation that's followed.
That's right.
And the next in line, if they
If
say they don't want it this year, then they skip to the next person.
That's right. That's right. All right, we got a motion and a second. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. It is 9:56. We are adjourned. Thank you all. I already did it. It's gonna be, Michelle.
Leave it up there.
I'm gonna take it to the office.